Is that from your book? I'm sorry, I didn't catch. No, it's not. It's not from my book. No. Although I do have a whole bunch of quotes in the book. Yes, yes, it is. It's quite deep. And behind each sentence, there is so much behind it. So what I'll do is I'll just stretch out a little bit on each sentence for you, just to help to expand the level of consciousness, okay? Would it be helpful for me to do that with you? Okay, so let's do that a little bit right now. Okay, right, Ashley. So first of all, we are indoctrinated to believe that there's a beginning and an end, that we are finite. Finite means beginning and an end. Thank you so much, Shelley. I really do appreciate your comments. That's very, very sweet, very kind of you. Hey, Inside Kim's World, how are you doing, darling? Thank you for coming on. So we are programmed to believe that we do have a beginning and that we do have an end, because this is what we experience in our mortality. Hi, darling, how are you? But in truth, we don't have a beginning and we don't have an end. We kind of go on into infinity, all the way into infinity and all the way back in. So we are constantly expanding and contracting through the cosmos. Okay, and we can do that through a physical skin suit like the one that we're in right now, and we do that before we come and we do that after we leave too. So we are ongoing, and this isn't a religious doctrine belief, although it's included. Is that related to reincarnation at all? It is, yes, it is related to reincarnation. But reincarnation is another really deep subject, which I have gone into in other scopes, and you can see those on my catch.me/fusion7healing. But it also relates to what we are when we are not in the physical. Thanks for the hearts, guys. I really do appreciate that. So when we're not in the physical, we still do exist. And this is beginning to be proved by science, and most definitely being proved by sacred geometric concepts and hermetic principles. So if you know anything about that, you will realize that there is absolute truth in that statement, and that's what this channel and my work is all about. It's all about immutable and absolute truths. Okay, so this is explaining that we do go on after we leave here, and we did exist before we came here in the physical also. Okay, so beginnings and endings are kind of an illusion. It's something that we have created for this timeline. So we know that we're born into the physical, and we know that we die. Okay, and we also know that, for example, cycles in nature, they have a beginning and they have an end, but there is a truth that supersedes all of these. And it's a very deep understanding, but to understanding is to be able to bestow so much peace to us, because we have a deeper understanding of what is a relative truth and what is an immutable truth. So in order to transcend this illusion of what it is that we understand, we need to really get into our earth mission, which is the next statement that we have in this little paragraph of truth that came through, that it's our earth mission to experience ourselves as intermediaries of truth. So how do we do that? Well, if you start to investigate what actually is an immutable truth, then you will be able to embody the understanding that you are infinite. Does that kind of make sense? How do you do that? Follow me right here, because I share lots of understandings on all of that. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Yes, yes we are. And we are infinite beings having a human experience. Absolutely. So it's lots of truth in that. And we need to be the intermediaries, we need to be the messengers of these truths, which it's been so buried. Sometimes by chance and sometimes not by chance, by default, and sometimes it's quite intentional, because some of the powers that be do not want the layman to have access to these truths, because it then means that there will be a complete deconstruction of all of the social constructs as we know it. So it could be really profound to be able to enlighten oneself and to be an initiate of deep mystery and truth school mysteries. And as far as I'm concerned, it's absolutely imperative to have access to this knowledge and to use it in the most humble and integral way possible. So that's what that part is all about, so that we can be the messengers. I think lots of people can't handle the truth. It's very true. And they do get angry with it as well, because they don't want their illusion to be shattered. They wouldn't know what to do with the knowledge. That's very true, my love, but that's part of what it is that I do. You know, like once you have the knowledge, what do you do with it? Because a lot of people are actually now coming into that knowledge. And a lot of people that come to my classes and to my sessions say, well, I know that, you know, I've read the Kabbalion, I've read Hermetics, I understand sacred geometry, I know about the truths of the cosmos, I know about cosmic law, I know about the 7 Hermetic laws. Great, good for you. So you know about it. What have you done with it? What have you done with it? You know about it, but have you taken this wisdom? Have you taken these sacred teachings and yes, absolutely, and transmuted them into your being? Are you walking your talk? Are you walking what it is that you know? Are you breathing it? You know, and this is where my work comes in. So I have like a lot of people that are very knowledgeable, that do have you know, all of the understandings of the deep mystery school teachings, but they're not living it. They are not embodying it. And it's not a criticism, it is actually the next point of our evolution and awakening process. We have to embody it. What's the best way we can bring more of it into our lives? Well, once you have it, you need to start implementing it into your everyday reality. You have to make it physical. This is why I listen to people like you, to know how to apply the knowledge. Yes, and we've already done a bunch of work here where we're actually applying the knowledge. Today we're talking about some of the knowledge and what it is that we need to do with it. But on other occasions, we actually get into the application of that knowledge. Lots of people stumble onto the truth and they go on as if it never happened. Yeah, it's very sad, right? But you know what? It's okay, because those are seeds. And I even get like loads of people that come into my classroom, my retreats, or that come to sessions, and they can only take it to a certain point. We have to peel back our own layers and start living our own truths. Absolutely, yes we do. Yes we do. But also what I emphasise greatly is not just only our own truths, but the fundamental immutable truths that just are, okay, which is beyond your truth, beyond my truth. These are the secret teachings of absolute truths that people really do need to study. So it's also about study, it's about cultivating your intuition and your psychic tree, but also understanding these wisdoms that are in fact immutable. It's not just what I believe or what you believe, and that's what's really, really crucial and fundamental about Fusion 7 healing teachings. It's about absolute truth. So intermediaries of truth. Yes, thank you for inviting on your followers. I do appreciate that. Does everyone have a third eye? Yes, we all have a third eye, but it's all about is it active, and how active is it? Is it in amnesia, and how long has it been in a coma? You know, and so it's all about the reactivation of this. Actually, it's all about the pineal gland that lies behind the third eye. Okay, that's where it all is. Ask your records, thank you for coming in. And so the last part of my intuitive reception that I received, Truth Crew, is that by being intermediaries and by embodying these truths in practice, it therefore means that we can be the peace that we were before we came, which we all were, at the very most fundamental core level. Hi, how are you? And we can also retrieve that not only after we leave the physical domain, but we can retrieve this deep fundamental inner peace once we understand these deep core fundamental truths. Guys, that is the only way you can do it. I mean, you can do it really simplistically as well, you know, being a good person, embodying the virtues, kind, compassionate, loving, tender honesty. You know, having all of these qualities is very important to a peaceful life. But because we are so bombarded by all of the development that's going on in society, religion, culture, school, teaching, science, because we're constantly bombarded by all of these stimulations continuously, it means that we are constantly being thrown we're being thrown into a place where we have a blockage. So we're constantly trying to run over these hurdles. So when we are in a position where we can, study and embody and practice, then we can really know the peace and the truth that we were before we came, the peace and the truth that we can be in the here and the now, and the peace and the truth that we can return to after we leave the physical domain. So I hope that helps you to broaden and expand or grasp a little bit more awareness about that passage that came through. Thank you so much for joining. And if you have just joined, I do invite you to replay it so that you can go through it a bit more, because we're sort of coming to our close very soon. But what I would like to share with you also, you're very welcome, and thank you for being here. And if you're not following, guys, I do invite you to follow me on this channel, where we have some pretty amazing truths and processes and healings and group healings. Hey Andrea, how you doing, my darling? Okay, just grabbing my file. Yes. And so there's all this amazing stuff going on here. And what I'd like you to do right now is just invite you right now to follow me on my, or rather, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hey love, how are you doing? So lovely to see you. Yes, so do subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also find me on Twitter with the same handle as here, which is @Fusion7Healing. Damn, didn't manage to block that one. Hopefully I'll get round to him again. So yes, @Fusion7Healing is my handle here. It's also